Yo, 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 yo. What's good with it, everybody? Appreciate everybody stopping through. Sorry I had to push the time back a few times there. My apologies, my apologies. But we're in the building today, man. We're in the building today. Give my peoples a few minutes here to pop on in. And we're gonna cook on this here joint, talk about these injuries and what's going on with that. We're seeing injuries at an alarming rate, which it's interesting. I'm very curious to see what everybody got to say about it. While we seeing so many injuries that's happening across the league, big names, small names, but it's a lot of injuries going on. A lot of injuries being reported, a lot of injuries being put on the reporting list and things like that. So you don't know, you know what I mean, exactly what it is. If it's just, um, or if it's just, a matter of people being put on the IR, or if it's actual injuries due to actual injuries. You know what I mean? Salute to you, quick, quick. Appreciate you stopping through. Now, I was just getting on these topics, man. Just saying these NBA injuries that's going on. It seemed like a lot of them that's going on. So I'm wondering if it's load management or if it's a factor, a situation where it's actually like actual injuries. You know what I mean? I don't remember the last time in the league I've been watching basketball for quite some time that I didn't looked at it and seen how in the world is it seeing that every single team, you know what I mean? Every single team has had some form of injury to their all-star type player. It seemed like every single one. It's mind-boggling to me over the most recent years. And again, I think that might be some that do with load management, but I'm still just trying to figure out why is it that literally every if it's not every day, it's every other day, but it's always for some odd reason like one of the marquee players is being hurt or they just being listed out for due like resting and things of that nature. I'm just like, man, back in the old days that there was no such thing as no, you know what I mean? There was no such thing as load management. There was no such thing as taking some time off or taking a break. Like Quee just said that they want to take a break. Yeah, there was no such thing as that before. Why? Because some people they wanted to compete. You know what I mean? They was competing. They understand people spent their hard earned money to come to them games and to watch them put on the show. And also again, they wanted to compete. They wanted to prove and show that they was the best. And that's something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. And I'm like, I'm one of the ones that actually pay attention to it because when I watched them old school games and them old school players and stuff, man, they was out there dang near about to break their neck or get their neck broken, and they still kept playing. How many injuries you see, you know what I'm saying, back in the day when Jordan was playing the bad boy Pistons, what he was out there doing. And my man was out there getting he was getting obliterated. They made him go back to the drawing board and change up his whole off-season workout plan. He came back bulked up, ready to go. And it's crazy to me that the fact of like nowadays when you look at it, you got players that's probably bigger and more athletic now than they was back then, and these players is definitely taking time away as if like they out here being murdered. And I ain't gonna call the game soft, but compared to then to how it is now, as far as from a physicality standpoint, it's definitely done gotten softer. I can say that much. I ain't gonna call them soft, but I'm gonna definitely call it out it is when you look at it now compared to back then. It's a whole different thing. And it's crazy how people get hurt so much more. And I'm just like, I don't know how that was on my mind, so I was thinking about it. I said, how in the world is it that they steady getting hurt this much more? And I'm like, it can't be the whole shoe situation because the science behind it. If you wear, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say some Kobe's or whatnot, them lows, it ain't really the ankle issue because the shoe still has the support system set for it. You know what I mean? You can still roll your ankle in some high tops. It ain't, I mean, because the shoe it ain't gonna stop you from rolling your ankle. The only way to kind of mainly kind of stop it, or at least, you know what I mean, lower the possibility of it happening, and is if you wearing an ankle brace and taped up under the ankle brace, and then changing the way how you doing things. That's kind of almost the only way. Son of God, what's good with it, bro? Appreciate you stopping through. Yeah, that's the only way to stop. That's the only way to really stop it or prevent or do your best to prevent you from rolling your ankle. It don't matter what kind of shoes you wear. It can happen at high top, low top, mid tops. It don't matter. And a lot of people be saying, I don't know how this younger generation be wearing low tops and this, that, and the third. It's like you gotta think back in the day, they was wearing Chuck Taylors. What kind of that's like wearing a sock, man. There ain't no support with no Chuck Taylors. And I be telling the or the older generation that when they be trying to get on that joint and when they be saying that like, oh, this younger generation wearing these low top shoes, they need to be wearing high tops 'cause that'll help them set the ankle. I said, well, back in the day, they was wearing Converse. They was wearing them Chuck Taylors. Where's the support with that? This the shoe side or the top side of Chuck Taylors, man. That's like wearing a sock. That thing ain't got you better off wearing plastic around your ankles than you is wearing them Chuck Taylors because you ain't got no support. But they don't want to talk about that though. Most people skip right. They glaze right on over that. They don't pay attention to realizing that that's the case, man. Brother Son of God said it's the lack of exercising and prepping for the season. These players are lazy now. And then quickly then the worst shoe ever. Yeah, I agree with that. It seemed like they want that microwave success, but they don't want to put in that grind and that work and stabilize and make sure they're working on their core strength. They're working on the things they need to, you know what I mean? And then also your footwork play a part in that too. It's just understanding the game. Yeah, there's freak accidents. Don't get me wrong, that's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, though, a lot of these things ain't always freak accidents. Only person I can say that always have a freak accident and it's consistently is Anthony Davis, man. AD is one of the people that at least once a month he gonna be on that injury report for one thing or another. At least once a month. That's the consistent thing you're gonna get out of him. I don't remember the last time he's went a whole month and played every game for the month. I don't remember it. And that's no hate, no slight or anything like that to him. It's just if you notice and you keep getting hurt, bro, you got to change something up. Like I said, that's your off-season workouts. That's a regimen. You got to do something to make it different to where it's impacting your body in a way where it's strengthening you so you're not getting hurt so often and so frequently. My brother just do it in the building. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, man. But yeah, we just cooking on these NBA injuries, man. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of it, man. And it had me thinking, like, dang, what is going on? Why does it seem like every single day? Well, obviously there's going to be people on the injury report, but why does it seem like it's consistently like the big names are the ones that's getting hurt, and then they're being out for an extended period of time? No, that's the crazy part to me. That is the craziest part to me. Like I said, in the 90s and early 2000s, even kind of late 2000s, you had people out there, they were still competing. They was playing through a multitude of injuries. Look at Allen Iverson. Man, if you ever look up Iverson's like injury, like history and stuff like that, bro, you'll be astonished. My man got a rap sheet that look like somebody that's been a 10-year criminal or a professional criminal, whatever you want to call it. Like you'd be like, hold on, man, how in the world? Same thing with Kobe. Kobe was doing the exact same thing, man. My man's just out there playing with his finger pretty much his in the tip of his finger looking at him and the rest of his finger facing the other way, kind of thing. And it's like how in the world is these players nowadays they getting hurt so often and then they stand hurt for an extended period of time? I understand science is a thing now where it's keeping people, you know what I mean? It's allowing people to either heal faster or it's giving them the science behind why they should sit out longer so then that way they can heal properly and come back and be at full strength. And a lot of people, and I'm one of those people where I look at it and I'm just like, okay, I understand that. But when you playing in the NBA or a professional athlete, you never gonna be at 100% unless it's the very first game of the season and you not coming off of like rehabbing or coming off of like take care of an injury that rolled over from the summer or something like that. Why do I say that? Just because the stress and everything you do to your body, you don't really give yourself a proper amount of time to rest and recover. I would say majority of these players, what they got to do is, and again, I ain't gonna act like I'm the, what I'm saying, see all be all and all the things like that. But I know is if you do consistently hard workout, 2 a day or 3 day workouts, 7 days a week, like bro, you killing your body and you think you're doing it some good and you're not. The best thing for you to do is give yourself at least 24 to maybe 24 to 72 hours of rest where it's like do some walking. You know what I mean? Do something that's low impact and literally is just more so just kind of keeping you just moving around, but you're not doing anything that could involve you potentially not being able to allow your body to rest. Because when you consistently beat your body up, you don't give your muscles the opportunity, your muscles, joints, any of that, an opportunity to recover like it needs to. And it's like AD was saying in the off season, he hadn't touched the ball in X amount of months or something like that. But look what happened still. A man still got hurt. And it's like and again, no slight or anything towards him, but it's like, bro, this man's consistently hurt like all the time. And I just be confused, like, all right, have you not looked at anything as far as in the off season or what you can do to kind of strengthen your body, or maybe switch up a little bit of how you play. And I think right now, I think for him at his age and being how young he is, I think he's starting to get a little frustrated with the whole fact of him getting hurt so often. And then obviously that nowadays these younger generation players, they live in social media, so they're hearing everything that's being said, and it's like, that's eating away at them too. Like they can say it ain't, but we all know, like, when you keep hearing something for so long, eventually it's going to start getting annoying. We've seen, professional athletes of all sports across the board start to crack under hearing something consistently about them. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's always saying something negative about you, at some point you're going to crack, because you can only get away from it so often, unless you literally are you know what I'm saying, you live under a rock, and you don't have any type of social media, you don't have a phone, all you do is go handle your business, come back home, you don't look at TV or anything like that, then that's the only way you're not gonna hear it, bro. Like, that's the only way you're not gonna hear something negative about yourself, especially when you're in the professional life. And then my brother, son of God, said it. And why the NBA paying these players 40, 50 million a year? Some are playing only 50, 60 games a year. I was, yep. And if I was a season ticket holder, I would be mad. I go to a game and don't see some of the stars. Yeah, he was like, this didn't happen in the past. So yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely agree. If I was a season ticket holder, bro, I promise you, I would be checking that IR, that injury report sheet daily. As soon as I see one of them, not one of the ones, what I'm saying, I don't want to, that I'm putting that ticket up. I'm go ahead and throw that bug on Grubhub or whatever, or not Grubhub, Ticket Hub, whatever it is. If I, what I'm saying, get it sold, let somebody else go see it. But me personally, because I'm still a fan of basketball like that, I probably would go. No, not probably. I would go just to see, like, different little facets and, different things within the game and stuff like that. I would go, but man, I would be pissed if I was one of those people that literally, like you said, you know, um, a season ticket holder. Say you got your kid, that's like their favorite player. It's a situation where they only in town, or they only, it works out because it's not a school night or something like that. And you go to take them, and all of a sudden you get there, and all of a sudden their favorite player not playing. That happens a lot, bro. Like, you've seen people writing letters to the NBA, or to the teams, or even posting on social media complaining about that, saying like, I spent my hard earned money to bring my kid to come see this particular player play, and guess what happened? You know what I mean? They decided that they wanted to have load management 10 games into the season type situation, 20 games into the season, you want to have load management. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but All-Star weekend, they get a whole week off. You get a whole week off of just, what I'm saying, you can kind of do whatever it is you want to do. And like I said, bro, like, them being one of the people that done seen that situation, bro, and back in the day, like, that's what even Kobe said, like, bro, if I can walk, I can play, like, kind of situations. And like I said, and I hate to keep bringing him up, but he a prime example of a crossover player that people can relate to, because he from that same age of where, what I'm saying, that last breed of that dying breed of that the tough players, and then crossing over into the newer generation where it's, what I mean, they have a different kind of style and how they play and how they move and how they think. And Cole was like a crossover pinnacle of that. He was right in the middle of that. You know what I mean? He was able to go from that old ball and bring that old ball with him to the new ball, but he was able to see how the direction the new ball was going. And he was trying to show them, like, there's, what I'm saying, there's people out here that literally work overtime for weeks to come see you play, and yet you want to do load management because of this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, you owe it to the fan, because the fan is the one that puts the money in the pocket of the owner, that then the owner puts it in your pocket. So essentially, and that goes across the board for all sports. Without the fans, bro, they wouldn't be getting paid. They'd be out there playing for free, just trying to showcase and hope they get paid. They'd be out there, or they wouldn't be playing at all. Because I mean, them owners would be doing something else with their money. They'd be in a whole different line of business that involved them making money, oil, all kind of other stuff, bro, cooking products and all that kind of stuff. They wouldn't be focused on NBA players or NFL, NHL, MLB, any, what I'm saying, European football. They wouldn't be focused on any of that. So it's like, again, man, a lot of people got to kind of keep those things in mind, and how those things operate and how they work, man. And it's crazy to think that that's even a topic of discussion, or something that needs to even be brought up, about the fact that we talking about, what I'm saying, we talking about injuries and what's going on with injuries instead of just talking about basketball as far as in its purest form, as far as who's the better player, which players made, advance improvements, who's the NBA favorites to win the championship, who likes what team and why, like just the normal basketball stuff. Like, why there ain't no reason I should be on here on a live talking about injuries. And it's crazy because you don't see nobody talking about that because people don't really look at that part of the game. The only thing they look at, oh, this player's out. Okay, who's gonna fill in for it? Or dang man, like calling somebody street clothes AD or low management Kawhi and broken this person, and old man this, old man that, and I'm just like, man, my thing is, what is going on right now that is causing this many injuries, or why has it been reported so many injuries? And Quee hit the nail on the head too. A lot of them be needing a quote unquote break. Excuse me, a lot of them be needing a quote unquote break. And I'm like, bro, I understand that is draining just because I didn't got to see firsthand on some of the occasions with NBA players, just the scheduling factor alone, especially if you let's just say a player LeBron's caliber, you got you got press conferences, you got media stuff you got to handle, and then you got the stuff where you are what is it? You got your Gatorade or not other you got other stuff that you're contractually obligated to handle that goes along with sponsorships and things like that. So it's like eventually, bro, you just like, all right, man, I'm tired. I just want some rest. But then again, it's like you signed up for this, right? So you signed up for this, and then you get to a certain level, you have to be able to understand how to tell them, like, yeah, they want you to do things at a certain time. But also at the same time, you got to work that, and it's been, I mean, they got plenty of examples ahead of them that they can use to kind of manipulate that and say that y'all are going to work off my schedule of doing certain things instead of allowing them to just run you into the ground and you're not even able to go home and just rest for a little bit because you got so many contractual obligations you got to do or team things and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that comes with the territory of making millions, like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. But at the same time, like you still got to have peace of mind. Otherwise, what you gonna do? You're gonna run yourself into the ground. Prime example of that. Look at Delonte West. That's unfortunate. I know he had some mental type things that he was battling and going through and things of that nature, man. But it was like certain things, bro. Like a lot of them not built for that grind to deal with what comes with being in the NBA. You got all the obligations, then you got family obligation, you got family coming out of the woodwork talking about some you know what I'm saying, I watched you back then and you was at the house, you think you can pay for this, that, and the third. So you seeing NBA players like some that can't handle it. I think there was a youngster, I can't remember his name. He was younger than 30 years old and he retired from the NBA because he said it was too stressful. I think he was like a rookie or a second year from second or third year in the NBA and he retired. He just couldn't handle like the mental aspect of what only comes along with what the game within the game there, but also just couldn't handle everything else that came with it. He came out and flat out said it, like he just couldn't handle it. He mentally couldn't handle it. And a lot of that messes with you too. You know what I mean? When you going from being the best player in high school, probably one of the best players in college, and then you come to the NBA where it's like everybody is on the exact same level as you, and then you're gonna have a lot of those players or a select few that's gonna be, levels above you, and you're coming in, pretty much starting all over, but as a man, and then you're being told, what I'm saying, like they do the whole rookie hazing and like you go from getting minutes and all that, and now you're just sitting on the bench and you thinking all that sacrifice and hard work you put in is all for naught. Why? Because you're not even getting an opportunity to showcase your talents. And I told like, I didn't have them conversations with some NBA players and they didn't say it like, yeah, it's tough. But the only thing is if you're mentally strong, you just gotta stick with it and stay with it because your opportunity gonna come. It's just a matter of what you do with it. And so you got to stay patient. A lot of these, like I said, a lot of these younger people don't understand, and they don't understand that word patience. They want that microwave, you know what I'm saying? That microwave success. They want that instant gratification, that oatmeal success. And it's like, it just don't happen like that. It's rare. It's just select few that came in as a rookie and instantly had an impact. A very select few. Obviously, the biggest name that jump out at you right away is LeBron. Why? Because the man pretty much was on an NBA from a perspective of exposure. He was on the NBA level of exposure when he was in high school. Games being played on ESPN or nationally televised. You know what I mean? Stadiums being sold out. You got NBA players and movie stars and all that, celebrities and stuff like that at his games. as a high school player. So you can only imagine the pressure he's been under since the point that he came on the public eye and spotlight. This whole time, the man the man that had to deal with that this whole time. So it's like I can't really think of any other, you know what I'm saying, rookie that came in with that kind of expectation of it. That kind of like they had the spotlight on him immediately. There was no, warming up to effect. There was no, you know what I'm saying, him getting into the loop of things or anything like that. He literally came in with the spotlight on him. And he been in the spotlight his entire life. Salute to you, AB. Appreciate you stopping through, my brother. And so it's like, I mean, yeah, if y'all can name me another player that had the same kind of expectation and that light on him shining as bright as LeBron did, please do. But that's the only player that come to mind that jump out right away. That from the very get go, that's who was, you know what I'm saying. That's who the spotlight was on. That was deemed, you know what I'm saying, the one or the chosen one, things of that nature. So it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, these injuries, I don't know, man. They got to figure out something. They have to find a way to where they can I wouldn't you eliminate this load management thing, but at the same time, if you have to extend the season, and what I mean by that is extend the days in the season where you're giving them more days to rest, I would say explore that avenue. Because if you continue with that load management and allow players to kind of sit and then using saying, oh, they have a non C19 type illness and stuff like that. People at some point, bro, they're gonna start putting their foot down, saying like, hey, what I mean, I literally had this circled on my, you know what I'm saying, on my calendar for my family to take my family to come watch this particular individual player play or these players play or this team, and I show up and I'm getting players that you never even heard of. So that's not fair to the consumer, even though they don't really care about the consumer from that perspective. Only thing they want is that they want you to show up and pay for whatever product they put out there. And people is going to get tired of seeing that, and they're going to get tired of going through that because they work too hard for that to be the case. So they have to look at, like I said, I honestly think a good suggestion for the NBA, what they could do is extend the season. What I mean by that is extend the days, not the actual games, the days in between, so they can get more rest time. And I think that'll kind of help with some of these injuries and some of the things they're going through within the game, within them full lines. I don't think there's nothing they can do to kind of stop freak accidents and things like that. You're gonna come down on somebody's foot and roll your ankle. That's gonna happen. You're gonna turn a certain way and roll your ankle. There's gonna be a slick spot on the court. No matter how many times you see the little mop people go out there flying across the court, you know what I'm saying, trying to act, get all that off and get all the wet spots or slick spots off, it's gonna happen because that's just a part of the game when it comes to that. But one thing they can do is extend the season by extending the days within in between games, so then that way they can get rest. I know they tried to do that now, which was they when you fly to the East Coast and you, let's say for example the Clippers, when they go from the West Coast and they go to the East Coast, they try to have them play them, like if they say they're on the road for 5 games, they try to have at least 3 out of the 5 games be on the East Coast, but all in a row. So then that way this team isn't flying over there and then turning around and flying back. You know what I mean? That's something that I realized that I think that they started doing, but it still hasn't really truly made a huge impact though. It hasn't made that impact where it's like, oh, like you're still seeing injuries, like and my whole thing is that they got to make sure that they're giving those days in between and allowing, what I'm saying, those players the proper amount of time to rest. Because back in the day they didn't do that. They, like what I just mentioned, they didn't do back in the day. They didn't allow a team to fly from the West Coast to East Coast, play their games on the East and be cool there. They actually used to do, you fly over to the East and then you fly back the next day, or you fly back 2 days later because you had a game within a 48-hour period, which is insane. Like, can y'all imagine that? You live on the West Coast, you on West Coast time, you go over and play a game on the East Coast, and let's say you got a late night game, so your game ain't gonna end until dang near midnight, or you ain't gonna get up out that state until pretty much around midnight. You get as much sleep as you can on the plane, which you're not, because majority of them they sleep on the plane, but then the majority of them don't because they either watch it, film study with somebody, or there's some stuff going on, and then as soon as you touch down, you go home, you try to rest, but you have a practice or a film study day, and then that next day you got a game. But yet, where's the in between time where you've been able to get a solid amount of just rest and relaxation. Yeah, they get quote unquote treatment, but at the same time, man, like you can only get treatment so often. That's not gonna allow your body to still properly heal and rest. Treatment is just more so to try and get you out there to be able to play. That's not treating. It's not allowing you to actually rest how you need to rest. But I'm gonna move on for that, man. I'm done with the injuries of it because I could go all day about that because there's so many different avenues that cover it, man. The next face of the league, man. I'm very curious. I know I only got a handful of people in here. I'm curious to see and know who do y'all think is the next, you know what I'm saying? Who would y'all think is the next face of the league at this point? We all a lot of people it's been Brown for a minute. Obviously it was MJ, and then from MJ to Kobe, and then Kobe to Bron. But next up, man, it's a lot it's some options to pick from that's there, man. Like it ain't one true clear cut person that they can say this is gonna be the next face of the league. And I'm curious to see who y'all think it is. I mean, you can they're not going to allow Kyrie to be that person. KD, they consider is in the same ballpark as Bron. Steph, I mean, they try to push it on there as Steph, but a lot of people don't really view, you know what I'm saying, Steph as the face of the league. I mean, you can say maybe challenging, but as far as like being the face of the league, I don't think a lot of people look at it like that. Um, then you got obviously your younger players, the John Morants, the Luca, the you know what I mean, like players like that where it's like Jason Tatum, they like these players is coming and they come in like for the right now. They don't want to be the next up. They want to have right now type situation. Brother AB said Luke or the Greek Freak. Yeah, it's and it's funny because like it's hard to argue or go against anybody that somebody picks as far as when it comes to Luca, Greek Freak. Um, you can even say Steph, even though he's a little older now. Steph, KD, like I said, they're not gonna put Kyrie up there. I can tell you that now. KD, Steph, any of these younger players, man, they definitely looking at it that way. You know what I mean? They look and like I said, I think Jay. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think if Jason Tatum take the Boston Celtics back to the finals this season, let's just say he mess around, he gets there again, they lose, or he mess around, he get there and they win, you're gonna have to start that argument. This young man's growth that he's had within the limited amount of time he's been in the league, man, it is insane the transformation he's made. And then the skill set that he has too, like he's out here cooking everybody. And he is going at everybody. He shows no back down, no fear, or any of that. Only thing he wanted is smoke and all the smoke. Like that like the old term or phrase goes, you know what I'm saying? He don't turn down nothing but his collar. And not even that. He don't even turn down his collar. And it's like that's how Jason Tatum is. And you didn't see other people. Luka's been, you know what I'm saying? You can put him in that same ballpark too, because Luka's been playing against grown men since he was a teenager. And I ain't talking 17, 18. I'm talking 13, 14, 15. Luka was over in the European leagues giving them grown men the business, dropping 30, 40, 50 point triple doubles over there as a youngin. That's what Luka was doing. If you don't believe me, go look it up. You can't say that about some 13, 14, and 15-year-olds over here. If they playing in the NBA or a professional league or a G League or something like that, they're not gonna be putting up points like that. They're not gonna be doing that. Some grown men gonna be after him. And Luka been dealing with that as a teenager. That's what sets Luka apart as far as like the physicality and how everything played and how he's able to do the things he do because Luka understands the game because he's been playing against grown men his entire life. And it's a difference when you play against other kids, you trying to be the best kid, but you're not being introduced to the kind of things that how grown men are playing, the grown men's strength within itself. But then you know what I'm saying, the little game within the games, the hooking at the right time, understanding foot like pivoting and foot positioning and things of that nature, understanding to attack the lead foot and have them pivot this way. Like you're not gonna understand that playing against other kids. Other kids are looking to do what other kids are doing. Highlight reels and ones, crossovers, shooting for wherever they're shooting from, things like that. They not really focus on the fundamentals of the game, and then also how can you leverage from an offensive standpoint, how can you leverage it? And then reading a defense as far as just breaking down how their defensive, how their defensive, like how their defensive stance. Like there's, like I said, there's games within the games when you're looking at these things that NBA players, they look at a person like, and they, if you ever seen an NBA player go, let's just say to like a park or go and play in a pickup game, how easy they're able to change the pace, how they're able to get by people so quick, how they're able to read how they're standing, and they're not going to be able to react this way, or they get them to bait one way and cross them the other way. It's like, brother, like if you ever watch it, I tell y'all this: go pull up any clip y'all can find, and pull up an NBA player going to play open court, and look at the way how he looks at them before he makes a move. If you can get a 4K video or something that's very HD and you can see it, that NBA player, the whole time he's coming down, he's looking at the defender and the defensive stance that he's in. As soon as he sees the stance he's in, he knows what move he's gonna do to get by. He knows what to do to work on how he's gonna get his shot up. And a lot of them, they be out there working on, literally working on one, you know what I'm saying, one dribble pull ups. They be working on like a hezzy. They be working on the side. They be working on, how to sidestep pull up. They be working on, you know what I'm saying, their step back pull ups. They be doing these things, but they're also reading the defense because it's very transparent to them. Why do I know this? Because I've played against NBA players and I've also had conversations with them, and I and literally, you know what I'm saying, they just kind of be spilling the beans on some of that stuff when you sit down and you're talking to them about the game. They will, almost any NBA player will happily talk to you about the game within the game, all of them. But a lot of people, when they meet them, the first thing when I ask is, "Oh man, how does the Lambo drive? How does the Bugatti and all that kind of stuff?" What's up, Tupac 13? Appreciate you coming through, man. A lot of the players, I mean, a lot of people get starstruck and things like that, where they want to ask questions that ain't got nothing to do with the game, and it gets away from the fact of like what the NBA players be wanting to talk about. You know what I mean? If you ever see one to ask them, like, "Hey, how do you read a defense when you get ready to make the move you make?" I guarantee you, watch their face and they're gonna smile and they're gonna answer because they're gonna be happy to talk about it because they like to talk about that, but nobody really asks them that question. And my brother AB said, but if San Antonio get Victor, it might be him. Oh, you're talking about the 7 footer that everybody going crazy about. I would say I say this, man. When you are 7 foot but you weigh a buck 20, it's not a good thing. And the only person that's been able to get away with that is KD. But KD is much stronger than people give him credit for. Like KD might be skinny, but if you ever really kind of seen the strength he be doing to do things, like KD is the true quote unquote unicorn as far as like how his game is and everything like that. KD is a deadly assassin at 7 foot and got the handle of a guard, and then like obviously he got the man can shoot. He can shoot lights out. We all know that. Like KD is gonna be 1-on-one. The rest of these guys, they're gonna try and look as far as like they're gonna look the image, but it's not gonna be a KD replica because KD is a 1-on-one as far as how his game is set up and the size and how he is. The rest of these guys, like for example, when you see Chet Holmgren when he comes back, they redeem him and the next person to being 7 foot, the same wiry frame, and him being able to get out there and do the same thing that KD does. You're not gonna see that. You're gonna see flashes of like a player or two where it's like, oh, but for the most part, you're not gonna get that same success that you're gonna see from how KD is able to the things that he does. And I think a lot of these players, if they were, I wouldn't say smart, but a lot of them, if they wanted the longevity, I would tell them immediately hit up KD, figure out his workout regimen and how he reads the game to be able to be doing it at such a high level for so long. And a lot of them won't do that, which I don't know why. I would. If I was 7 foot or right around that 7 foot mark with a wiry frame built like that, I would absolutely be. I mean, I'd be in his phone the same way Kobe was in Jordan phone, trying to figure out the game and the best plan of attack on what he could do. I promise you, I would, because that's one of the only thing. I mean, obviously they're gonna have their own game of how they're gonna have it, but the best way to understand it is if you're built the same as someone else, the best way is to understand the fundamentals of the game of how he's able to make it work, and then you can go from there and put your own spin on it. That would be my suggestion to the younger players that's coming. And even with Victor being, you know what I'm saying, like again, a lot of people, there are a lot of eyes on him, expectation. He's gonna change the franchise when he gets there and things of that nature. A lot of people not built to even handle that, having that type of pressure put on their shoulders at such a young age. I mean, and we won't know until he gets there. But again, my whole thing that I would say when it comes to him is that if I was him, try to put on some form of muscle or work on some conditioning as far as like strength strengthening your core and strengthening your body because college players and NBA players, as far as like a physicality standpoint, is completely different. Why? Because NBA players have access to some of the highest level of machinery or diet, dietitists and personal trainers and things of that nature that can help them work on things that you wouldn't even think of working on that can actually help you strengthen a certain part of your body. So it's like I would recommend if you can work on your core, work on things to strengthen yourself, so then that way at least worst case scenario you became stronger, and from a physicality standpoint you may be able to handle it a little bit better. The speed of the game that comes with time, you know what I mean? It's definitely a different speed of the game and understanding how to transition within that speed as well. And a lot of people don't understand that when, like I said, when you've either played against NBA players or skill players, it's a big difference in how they use their speed. It's their change of pace and how to read certain things. It's a huge difference. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to y'all about this. It's a big difference. It may look like one pace or certain things, but when you actually are out there playing against it, it's completely different. What's up, Trap Media USA? He says they need Bibles. The Lord don't make them the same no more in church. Hey man, I'm just saying it's definitely different. That much I can say, and it's like again, these are all little things that people like to bypass and look over. But I'm just telling y'all the real of it, man. It's a focus point that will do you some good at understanding the fundamentals. When you get the fundamentals to anything and you're able to build off of that, at least you started from the ground up, and then you can figure out the best way to kind of have it be that works best for you. Every way ain't gonna work the best for everyone. You know what I mean? Everything's not gonna be the same. But one thing you can do is everybody, if you're able to understand the fundamentals, then you can put your own spin on it and go from there. And so it's like, yeah, man, and I'm very very curious to see, you know, what I mean, once this generation of the KD, Steph, Bron, who else I'm thinking of, the Kyries and everybody that's around that particular group. Devin, well, no, Devin Booker's still extremely young. Once this group, this core group of like big names has moved out the way, the next ones to step up, the Jason Tatum, the Jalen Browns, the Devin Bookers, the Luka Doncic, the Paolo Ponchero. I'll probably butcher that man name every time, but the Paolos from Orlando, you know what I mean, the Bobos, the all these young players that come to mind, bro, like the Michael Porter Juniors and stuff like that, like the generation after them, how is that going to be? Even the John Morant, we all obviously that goes without mentioning, but like, which one of these players is going to be the face of the league and reign supreme? And then after that, you know, what I mean, how is the NBA going to do? Like, obviously, we're thinking a long ways down the line, but it's also thinking, okay, like you always going to have them young guns that come out, and they're going to be, you know, what I mean, like they're going to be dubbed as the next up and coming. They're going to be dubbed that young lion type thing. And it's like these players nowadays, man, like I said, the Jason Tatum, John Morant, the Luka Doncic, they don't want next, they want now, and they're going at these players now in a sense of letting them know like you're not getting away. I want to compete against you, and I'm going to beat you. And I'm coming with attitude. Yeah, they might come with some skinny jeans and all that kind of stuff, but they might come with that. But at the same day, man, like these players, they letting it be known that they want to get out here and they want to absolutely compete. They don't want to sit here and go out here and just lay an egg, man. They coming out, they want to compete, they are competing, and they're letting it be known. Absolutely. See, Trap Media said that build is overrated in regards to winning. It's easy to guard in the playoffs because it takes so long for them to gather for a shot. Seen it with KD against Boston and Tatum against the Warriors, winning a chip. Um, yeah, that's true. That's true. But the thing is with KD, you can say you've seen it, but this man, like as far as his shot, KD, how many times have you seen KD get blocked over a 10-year span? Because I can only name 3 times that I've ever seen KD get blocked on a jump shot. I've only seen it happen 3 times with my own eyes. I've only seen it happen. What's up, DP Rock? Appreciate you coming through, OG. I've only seen KD get blocked 3 times ever since I started watching basketball. And then when it comes to Tatum, yeah, I think with him, if we're talking about his jump shot, yeah, that slight hitch, it's a little awkward. Definitely slows down because it's not one smooth motion. But yeah, He said it's not blocked, but when you get up under him like Boston did, it's all bad. Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. But I think this time around, if Boston was to try and do that again, I think he would understand how to change his game to attack that though. I don't really see that happening again with KD. If he's able to see it, understand it, and then film study and adjust his game, I don't see that happening again. I would be hard pressed and shocked if they played Boston again and they got the same results from doing the same thing against them. I'd be shocked, super shocked. But yeah, Tatum, I don't know. I don't think for his jump shot, I don't think there's a way to kind of get that hitch out of there, man. I think that's gonna be one of those things where he's just gonna it's gonna be his own thing that works for him. I would love if he had one smooth, just all in rhythm type shot, but it's definitely one of those things when you look at it, it has that slight hitch to it that's a little awkward and slows it down. He says Tatum has adjusted more this season with strong drives. Yeah, I agree. I'm that's what I said. Like the time Tatum has been in the league, bro, his growth and maturity as a player it's leaps and bounds, man. Like it is insane to think that he went from this little scrawny kid that was, you know what I'm saying, just trying to get there to now where he's, he crossing you over and he's getting to the rim and finishing, chest bumping like he did Brian a few years back when Brian was with Cleveland. When he went and dunked on him and then afterwards, what I mean, screamed in his face and bumped his chest, like letting him know I'm here kind of situation. And it's like I said, bro, he definitely is out there now where he's man balling. He's no longer the little, you know what I'm saying, the new light skinned kid on the block. He is absolutely not that at all. He's out there bodying people and letting it be known and having no problem with doing the things he's doing. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of it because he's out there literally on some Mamba mentality type stuff. I know that was his mentor and things of that nature. So he's trying to embody that whole situation and embody that energy and bring that to the court. And I mean, I can give him his flowers. He's doing it. So thus far, he's doing it. We haven't seen him shy away from the moment. We've seen him come up big in big moments. We've seen him now what he's doing and how the way he's playing. He seems like a man that's on a mission. I mean, that entire Boston Celtics team seem like they are on a mission, and I'm loving it every bit of what I'm seeing. Just because why? Because they're a young team that definitely not playing like a young. They're playing like we're on a mission to win a championship. We came up short last year due to I'm gonna say experience or whatever the case is, and they look like they're on a mission to get back there and finish the job this time around. That's what I'm seeing. That's definitely what I'm seeing from them, and I'm loving every bit of it. I love seeing a team that's out there scrappy, getting after, not playing any games with any teams, and they're going out there to beat each and every team, and however in every facet they want to walk away with the dub, no matter what. Just like I think I actually just picked the Raptors to beat them, and they didn't even have Tatum, and they went out there and beat the Raptors. And that's like the Raptors aren't they're not a trash team. The Raptors are a good team. They're just for some odd reason underperforming. They've had to deal with injuries all season long. But again, man, it's tough when you go play play in Toronto against that Raptors team and that home crowd. They are, man, the energy in that crowd is insane. If you go back and watch when Kawhi was there and they were playing against the Sixers or any game when they was there and they had a big team that was coming in, you that energy in that building, like man, they were insane, absolutely insane as far as like how that crowd is, how they support the Raptors and things like that, man. If you don't believe me, go check out just a handful of highlights of games and stuff, and just they have crowd reactions on there too. You can just Google it, crowd reactions for the Raptors in Toronto or something, and you'll see those people rock with They rock with that team extremely heavy, and I love it. I love seeing the support fans supporting their team and out there rocking out like the way they do, man. It's like it's nothing like it. It's nothing like playing in front of your home crowd. You're feeding off their energy. They're giving you energy. You feel like you're gassing, but then they become your second win when you make a couple of shots in a row, or when somebody's what I'm saying, doing heat checks. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been in a game where you've seen somebody hit a few shots in a row, and then they do a heat check and they make it, and then it kind of goes up from there. But the energy in the building is insane, absolutely insane. It's one of those situations where somebody get hot and they just cooking somebody, bro. It feels like the crowd is giving that person energy. I remember I was in Portland and Brandon Roy was playing. I forgot what team it was. He was cooking them, and I'm sitting in the crowd and he scored like 10. He was like 10 points straight, like his own 10-0 run where he was just giving his team the business from everywhere, 3-point, mid range, layup. everything. And it's like it just seems like the crowd was climaxing with energy, just everybody getting so excited because you want to see them keep cooking. And even when you sit and watch highlights of this, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube, you can feel, you know what I'm saying, the hair on the back of your neck starts to stand. You start to get like a little chill when you seeing somebody heat checking, and then the crowd is rooting for the, you know what I'm saying, they rooting for the opposing team. They're rooting for that star. We've seen that happen many a times. Kobe and TD or not TD Garden, yeah, TD Garden, Kobe and TD Garden, Kobe at MSG. Well, almost every superstar when they go to MSG gets, you know, when they start lighting up the Knicks, that crowd turns on the Knicks quick. Like when Steph did it, when he was lighting them up, that crowd turned on them quick. You start getting MVP chants. You're like, hold on, man. Like we playing at home. What are y'all doing right now? Ain't no way y'all should be y'all should be sitting here rooting the MVP for the opposing player. And it's like that's why a lot of people said big name stars, excuse me, big name stars said that they love to play at MSG because I mean that crowd gonna turn on them at some point, which is messed up. But it's like, hey, what can you do when somebody's cooking your team? They cooking your team. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. I remember watching Kobe's game. He scored 81 against Toronto. Like the way he was going on, bro, it was insane. When he scored, when he dropped what his last game that he played, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Mamba. When his last game he played against Utah, when he was going off for 60 against them, bro. You see the energy in that crowd? That man was dead tired out there, super tired. And guess what? He was feeding off the crowd because the crowd was giving him energy. And he know what to do because it's muscle memory with shooting the ball. You just gotta get to your spots. That's all that is. I'm telling you, it's different. And then being in the crowd when you get to witness and see these things, man, it's different. That energy that starts all of a sudden, you find yourself with a ton of energy because you're rooting for something. You seeing somebody heat checking it, or they hot and they lighting somebody up. It's definitely a fun experience, man. So I tell anybody that's listening, that's listening now, or that catches the playback on this, if you can, try and find a game where it's one of the big names coming, or it's gonna be some names that's gonna be there, and try and get yourself to an NBA game, and hope for that moment you get somebody that's out there that starts going and they get hot and they start doing heat check shots, or they just, you know what I'm saying, they just going on their own little run by themselves. And the thing that's dope about it is it doesn't have to be 3 pointers necessarily. It can be, again, layups, mid range dunks, and then 3 pointers or however else, man. It's you're gonna get them situations where you're gonna have a player that's gonna be giving somebody the business, and you're gonna have opportunity to see it because they're gonna be going at that team doing that. And I mean, I would hope everybody that's listening and hears this that they get the opportunity to see that in person and feel the energy that's in the crowd, man. 'Cause it's just crazy. Even if you play basketball yourself and you know when you hot and it feel like you can't miss and you literally throwing a ball into the ocean kind of situation, bro. I didn't have that feeling. I'm pretty sure anybody else that's never played ball that had that feeling too, where it's like everything is a flick of a wrist and you feel like you can't miss, and it's like effortless how you're shooting and how the shot's going, and especially if it's all net, you know what I'm saying, a few times roll for it, then it's like, oh yeah, you in a groove, you feeling good, you ain't noticing nothing, you not tired, you're not noticing any type of little nicks and knacks, you're not noticing anything because why? You're in a zone where you're locked in, and the only thing you want to do is get a bucket, or assist. But you definitely get a bucket at will. It's just one of them things when you're in the zone, it's hard to explain because you don't notice anything, and them shots is going up, and you hitting that joint. Salute to my brother G5 in the building, man. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. Unfortunately, I ain't got no flames or nothing of that for y'all, so I had to salute y'all the old fashioned way and say what's good, and I appreciate you coming through this joint, man. I ain't fancy yet. I gotta get the flame, gotta get the flame. But yeah, man, I'm just now I'm sitting here reminiscing about the good old days when I done got hot, you know what I'm saying, did some heat checks, them jokers start going in. I'm like, oh yeah, I ain't missing this. Let me get to this spot right here, pull up, boom. Let me get to this spot, pull up, boom. Y'all thinking about to shoot this? I'm gonna kick this pass out. Okay, get that shot up. Okay, we good, we good. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this rolling. I didn't, man. It's one of them things. Like I said, bro. If you haven't gotten to that type of zone yet, I don't know what you're doing out there on the court. If you're not a scorer, that's cool, but you can also get in the zone from a defensive standpoint too, or you just being extremely disruptive. You getting steals, you getting blocks, you locking somebody down on defense, or you done locked up multiple people. Man, it happens, bro. You can get it. You can get in the zone on both sides of the ball, both sides of the ball, and it don't matter, bro. It can happen. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying, it just gotta, one of them situations where it just happened on its own. What's up, D man? Appreciate you stopping through, my brother. Sonny God said, "Anyone who's gonna hate to get off your topic a little bit, but me and my friend had an argument about Draymond Green. Is Draymond a top 10 power forward center of all time? I think he said I think not. He said yes. What's your thoughts, bro? Top 10 power forward or center? Hell no, hell no. Uh, Ask and excuse my French, man, but so the God, man. Hey, ask ask your friend to name you 10 10 power forwards and centers that he think Draymond is better than. Ask him to do that, bro, because he's not remotely close to no Tim Duncan, remotely close to no Kevin Durant, remotely close to no Charles Barkley. He's not remotely close to Dirk Nowitzki. He's not close to Anthony Davis. He's not close to who else is considered a 4 or 5. He's not close to no Joel Embiid. I'm gonna go 4 and 5. He's not close to no Jokic. He's not. Oh, if we go even old school, Shaq, Olajuwon, Kareem, like yeah, he no man, absolutely not. Hey, son of God, you might have to lose a friend on that topic, bro. You might have to lose a friend, man. 'Cause ain't no way. Talking about Draymond is top 5 for power forward or slash center. No, nah, man, absolutely not. Look at it this way. If Draymond was actually playing against the power forwards and centers of old, or strictly power forwards and centers, and he had to guard that strictly, like that'd be his only guard, he would get baked. He can't hold AD. He can't hold no Joel Embiid, no Jokic, no Shaq, no Tim Duncan, no Kevin Garnett. No, he can't hold none of them. None of them. And D-Man say he ain't close to no big no Big Ten, Big Ben. It's like, bro, and that's no slight or disrespect to Draymond, man. I love his confidence. I love what he brings to that Golden State Warriors team and organization on the court. Love what he does for them for that perspective. But when it comes to we talking all time, no. I mean, no, absolutely not, bro. Look, if he went to another team that didn't have shooters, will we be talking about Draymond? I guess I ask you that, or I ask you to ask a friend that. If he got traded to another team, would we be talking about Draymond the same light with no championships and he played for another team? Would he, you know what I'm saying? Would he be relevant? I mean, you can ask yourself that question. I'm gonna have to lean with the side of no, and that's no disrespect nor slight to him. But I think if he played for a different team, or if he never had those rings or played for this Warriors team, we wouldn't be having no Draymond type conversation. Because I would say the one thing he has is a skill set is being a playmaker for sure. But again, that involves him playing with who? Steph and Clay. Without Steph and Clay, or Jordan Poole, or you know what I'm saying, people like that, what else or what team could he be on if they didn't have knockdown shooters that he could do to elevate his game like that? He's not a scorer for sure. He's not a scorer. And if he had to guard a 4 or 5 the whole game, he would get baked. Because Kevon Looney, Wiseman, and I think there's one more big that's there, or more so the ones when they play small ball, it's more of a speed aspect of it, of them playing small ball, because they try to tire them out, or they try to get them to bring in their small ball lineup. And when they play small ball, it's literally again more predicated off of speed. It's not something where it's like, oh, I'm gonna lock down their center or whatever the case may be. And it's like, no. If you ever look at when the Warriors go small ball and they put Draymond at the 5, bro, what powerful, what center of the other team have you ever said that he locked him up? There ain't one. And again, like I said, this is no slight nor disrespect to him, but it's like you don't see that. You don't see those situations where it's like, man, Draymond put the clamps on such and such, bro. Like it's like, nah, the team 8 out of 10 times always folded and decided to go small ball with the Warriors. The times that they didn't, if they had to lead, they would just they would have the ball inside and they would beat Draymond up on the block. That's all they would do. Because it's the smartest thing you can do. You know what I mean? He's the son of God said, yeah, I told that fool. He said we was old school lovers. And this generation is the best. Yeah, nah. If he of this generation, then he's already kind of a bias and a little blind of the aspect of understanding that. I got the privilege of being able to kind of see both sides of the spectrum when it comes to that. Just because I respect the OGs, but that came before what we consider the OGs, and then looking at this new generation, it's like they some skilled players. I get in their flowers and I don't give them no hate, and I enjoy everything I get to see, and I'm enjoying different aspects of the game. The game went from the triangle offense to the again try new vamp triangle offense, but then the dominant two-man game to a ISO situation to a now went from an ISO situation to a speed up the tempo running gun to now where we're launching threes from half court and then still launching threes, dunking, crossovers, things like I've seen the game grow and transition from different facets of how it's played, and I've enjoyed in every situation or every era of it. I've enjoyed every changing point that it's had, just because it's one of those things where you're trying to enjoy and see the game within the game, and when the game adjusts, how do you make adjustments to that game? And I've been lucky to be able to, again, obviously with the help of YouTube, looking at old highlights of old stuff that was happening before I was born, and then during the time period when I was born. Obviously, I'm not gonna be understanding basketball at 1 years old and stuff like that, but being able to watch how stuff transition from there, and then you become 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 years old, getting to see games during that period, and then obviously from there and so forth. Like I've been able to kind of see that with the help of YouTube, and then some of the games I do remember and stuff like that. And obviously in today's day and age, I'm watching it live as it happens. So it's definitely one of those things, man, where you able to look at it. I appreciate it, and I also appreciate everything the Young Guns is doing and how they playing. I appreciate all of it. But one thing I'm not gonna say is I can't agree with I can't agree with him saying that this it's the best generation, because the thing is, and the one thing we can always, it's a right, he has a right to his opinion, but there's one thing we'll never know is we won't be able to take this generation and take them back a few generations to play and find out. Like that's one thing we won't be able to do. So it's always gonna be hearsay, she say, or that person's opinion, and you can never change another person's opinion when it's their opinion. Is you let them rock out with it and say, hey, I agree to disagree and move on. Or if you can't agree to disagree, then hey, tell them, hey, look, man, stop talking to me about this. Brother Son of God said, hell no, Draymond wouldn't be any good anywhere. And I might be behind in the comments. I'm sorry. I apologize. D Man Jr. said the best era is the 90s. Hey, man, hey, it's hard to argue against that, bro. It's hard to argue against it, man. Because you had the Pennies, the Grant Hills, the obviously the Jordan, the Scottie Pippen, the Carmelo, the Glove, Gary Payton. You had Allen Iverson. You had what's my man's name? You had Eddie Jones. You had Nick Van Exel. You had dang, why am I drawing a blank on his name? You had Rod Strickland. You had you had a boatload of players that played in the time in the 90s, bro, where it was like it could go down at any moment with any team like that kind of situation, bro. You had the Sean Elliott's, you had the Elijah Wan, you had the Tim Duncan, you had the David Robinson, you had players out there, bro. The Clyde Drexlers, you had players in the 90s that were getting after it, absolutely getting after it, and they did not care. Yeah, Larry Johnson, and man, you had so many players during that time period, and you couldn't couldn't sleep on any of them. Like couldn't sleep on none of them. Glenn Rice, like bro, I can just keep going from a perspective of names that pop in my head, because a lot of them started in the 90s. A lot of them started in the 90s, whether or not they're getting a ton of clock, but a lot of them started in the 90s. Yeah, Reggie Miller's still out there, John Starks, Allen Houston, like bro, like Patrick Ewing, Barkley. I can just keep going. It's so many back then that again, you're playing against Joe Dumars, man. Isaiah was still playing at that little time. It's a whole bunch of players from the '90s, bro. That is filled with Hall of Famers that are true, legitimate Hall of Famers, man. Big names that man, oh man. Yeah, but yeah, Sonny guy, your friend, he blinded by that by the generational gaps of understanding what he watching. That's what that is. Yeah, D-Man Jr. said, "What's your thoughts on Rasheed Wallace? Rasheed is a dope human being. Met Rasheed when he was playing for Portland when I lived in Portland. Dope human being, man. Funny as hell. Really about that when it comes to when you playing against him. If you try to dunk on this man, it's not gonna happen. He not well. LeBron got was that Bron got no LeBron got KD or what? I don't, yeah, she not gonna. If let's just say for example, me, she wasn't gonna let me get him. I tried, wasn't having it. My man's held me out like I was an infant throwing a tantrum with both arms out. Like nah, this is I was in high school. He's nah, that's not happening, young fella. Held me out just like that and put and sat me down like I was a baby. I'm like, hold on, man. I can't say I was a grown man at the time because I was still in high school, man. So it was like I ain't never been manhandled like that, bro. But it's like again, you in high school when you only 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". My man's is 6'10", 6'11". Ain't much you can do about that, man. Ain't much you can do about it. But Sheed is dope. I think Sheed, for me, I would give him probably one of the, at least, if not top 10, top 15 power forwards of all time for him. She could do everything. Shoot the three, shoot the mid range, get to the rim, attack the rim, play defense. Was smart. Passing game was underrated. He had a complete nice game, man. If you don't believe me, you got to go back and look. And he changed his game over time with how he played it too. When he went from mid range and he went from attacking the rim or playing with it back against the rim to when he got into more of the modern times and he went and played for the Blazers and things like that. He was a stretch forward. Obviously, he could still get to the rim, play with his back to the basket. But my man's was he was a cold piece, man. Absolute cold piece. I encourage any and every one of y'all that's listening now or to catch the playback, go check out Rasheed Wallace, man. You will not be disappointed whatsoever. Brother said, Cole got him. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Hey, I knew somebody got him. I didn't know who. Somebody got him, but he was not letting no freshman in high school. He was not letting me go on. He was not having that at all. I tried to trust me. I absolutely tried. I saw him sitting where he was sitting. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get me a body. I'm about to get this. It's gonna be a body. Only thing they got body was my little getting held out like a kid, throwing a tantrum. That's it. I wanted it bad. I think the tallest dude I ever dunked on was like 6'9", and I tried, bro. And all mine came. I didn't get blocked. All mine came from. I just missed it. I was like trying to throw that thing. I was trying to throw him through the rim type situation. The couple that I missed, I tried to throw him through the rim. I wasn't just trying to get him. I was trying to get him. I was trying to send his soul up to the high level, to the upper room type situation. But yeah, but yeah, man. Sonny guy said Popeye Jones would beat him. You heard you. Hey, man. Popeye another slept on big too, man. Like it's so many man back in the day, so many players that go, you know what I mean, like unheralded in as far as what they brought to the game back then and how good they were, just because a lot of people are, you know what I mean, stuck in the moment of what we're seeing now. And I ain't gonna be one of the people that say I'm stuck in yesteryear's past or anything like that. But I appreciate what came before what we get to see now. Like I appreciate them players and what they were able to contribute to the game and everything like that. So that's why when you see a lot of these players, man, they just be watching the old school players be watching these new generation, and you just don't understand. Like y'all get to play the way y'all play due to us. If y'all played in the era we played, then we'll have to see, you know what I'm saying, how skilled you truly are. And it's crazy to think of like that, but that's just how it is, man. Um, as the son got to you hear A1 naming those name playing Draymond. I'm telling you, man. Um, Jay Gibson, salute to you, bro. Appreciate you stopping through, man. Appreciate you stopping through. D-Man said Popeye Jones would hold Shaq. He used to have me laughing. I thought he grabbed Shaq, but one time hey, he did. He did, bro. A lot of them situations when you go back and watch some of the old school games, man, it's a game within a game, and they would do things to throw people off. They would do some unorthodox thing to throw them off, bro. They be they pinch you. They be pinching people out there. They be you know what I mean. Be yeah they grab or try to pull your shorts down on one side. And I mean, you remember when Ron Artest reached over and untied whose shoe was that? He untied somebody's shoe while they sitting at the free throw line. Like they'll do anything they can to kind of get somebody out their head and out their game, man, or get them to kind of think about it or throw them off a little bit. I didn't see some crazy stuff, man. Jay Gibson said the family. Yeah, I don't like Rasheed or Ben Wallace. Hey, Jay Gibson, man, I'm a diehard Lakers fan, man, but I'm rational about it. I didn't told everybody the same thing. I'm rational about it, man. That's my team. I've been rocking with them since I got introduced to basketball, so I'm gonna forever be a Lakers fan, no matter how we doing, who we got, or anything like that. But hey, man, you gotta respect what Sheed and Ben, you got to respect what they brought to the table, man. You got to respect it. They got us for one, but we came back and got it back. So that's how I look at it, man. Yeah, Chris Webber was another one, man. Another cold piece, a big man that had the skills of a guard that play like a guard or had the skills of a guard, but was a big man though. Chris Webber in his prime, man. That was a hard guard because he could do everything. Handle the ball, mid range, three. He didn't really shoot threes like that, but he could shoot it. Definitely play with his back against the basket. Solid defender, but more so he was a scoring threat at all times. At all times. And a lot of people we sleep on him, man. C Webb was that dude. C Webb was that dude. I remember on the fast break he did the ball behind his back, which if you go back and look at it, when he wrapped the ball around his body, it was extremely unnecessary. But the person that I can't remember who it was. I don't think that was Charles Barkley. Or was it Charles Barkley? On the fast break when he did that, he said when he wrapped the ball around his body like that, I was like, oh man, I thought it was unnecessary because where the person was at, he was sizing him up. He was gonna get dunked on anyway, but he did it, and they made it seem like it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread type situation. But for me, it wasn't nothing. Now, if you're talking on a fast break, when you talking about somebody that did something with that ball and put somebody in the rim, we're gonna go Dr. J, dunking on. God, I got a short that's coming out, man, and y'all got to check this short out. When Dr. J did that rock the baby on him, my man thought he was gonna go in for he was gonna try and quick lay him up. And a lot of people, if you don't know what that means, say you coming down on the left side of the court, and you got somebody trailing your right side, right, and they got the angle for it. Now, if you go with your left hand, you're giving them the perfect angle to block your shot. But if you quick layup, you're gonna do it with your right hand, so it's your offhand on the wrong side because it puts your body in between him and the ball, so he's gonna have to go through your body to get to the ball. And so that's what he thought he was gonna do. And so he started speeding up, and Dr. J he put the ball in front of him, rocked it back to him, and windmill came all the way around the windmill. And he said, I think it was Cooper. He wanted to jump, and he noticed what was about to happen, so he just ducked his head. He knew he was on a forever living momentous poster. He knew that. But I'm gonna drop a short on that so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So be on the lookout for that. But y'all, when you see it, you can oh man. And I got the one where Cooper was actually he was explaining his train of thought when you know what I'm saying. This is what they say. This is the moment he knew he up. Like he gonna be explaining his train of thought in that moment of what happened, man. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. It's definitely gonna be a funny watch to see. So I got a short coming out with that, man. Um, brother, what am I gonna say? Appreciate you, son of God. Appreciate you, brother. Um, and D man said, you know what? I'm a diehard math fan. You know, diehard math fan. Hey, name me two players. Not two. Name me five players from the last 20 years that you can say they're the best Mavs players. We gonna see if you're a true Mavs fan or not, man. um, but Jenkins just said, Wilt, Dirk, and them. Yeah, man. Yeah, that dunk. I'm telling you, D man, that dunk was that dunk was a cold piece, bro. Like a lot of people sleep on that rock the cradle, rock the baby on him because he wasn't expecting it. I can tell you that much. And in the clip when he said it, he wasn't expecting it. My bad, y'all. I had to get some water real quick. But yeah, man, what else y'all got from? What else y'all got from, man? We already touched on. I cooked on the injury portion earlier. The next face of the league, or faces is next upcoming. Who y'all got for that? Who y'all got being the next upcoming face of the league, or any other topics y'all want to cook on, man. I'm here for y'all. I already got off my chest the things I wanted to get off, so now we can move on to whatever y'all want to talk about. We can cook on it. Let's see. He said D-Man said Dirt, Jason Kidd, Javon Mashburn, Jet Terry. All right, you got one more. I'm gonna be disappointed if you don't name this other person though. I got somebody right off the bat. If you need me to help you out with fifth person, you let me know. All you gotta do is say it, D man. You let me know, and I got a fifth person right for you. There you go. All right, all right, all right. I was gonna say you better throw Finley in there. You don't throw Finley in there, man. You gonna have some true Mavs fan on your helmet. They gonna find they gonna find you. They gonna find you and get after you, bro. And don't forget, Steve Nash was here for a minute too. Steve Nash played for him. He was putting it down. If they would have stayed together, you never know. Dirk and Nash was the first one. Dirk and Nash was the first one. Definitely the first one. They was a man. Man, oh man. You have to throw Luca in that joint. You have to. He said, I ain't forget him. Yeah, man. I was at hey that boy, man, oh man. Family back in his day, he was a cold piece. Cold piece. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Isaiah Ryder didn't play for the Mavs too. Did he? I'm tripping. I'm like, wait, did he play for the Mavs? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me look, man. I'm gonna see if he played for the Mavs or not. I don't think he did. Let's see. Did he play for the Mavs? No, okay. So no, he played for the Nuggets, Lakers, Hawks, Blazers, and the Wolves. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping for a second. So I was like, wait a second. I swear I thought there was another two guard that played for the Mavs that was good too. I just can't remember right off the back of my head, man. Said Stackhouse? Yeah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, if Stackhouse would have came when he was in his prime though, man, that would have been man, that would have been something right there. Stackhouse, Jordan ruined Stackhouse when he played for the Wizards. That man's at Stackhouse ready to throw away everything. That man was hot. That man was super hot. Talking about some. I always wanted to play with him, but then when I played with him, I hated it. I hated everything about it. Like, man, Stackhouse is funny, man. Yeah, the name he could have did a lot with that name, bro. But it is what it is. He played in the era that he kind of just wasn't able to make an impact on the game like he could have. You know what I mean? He wasn't able to do it, but hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But what else y'all got from him, man? Who y'all got as the new upcoming face of the league, man? Who y'all got being the one that's up next? I know y'all got some people in mind. I know y'all got some people in mind. Everybody already got their next favorite player lined up. They just waiting for their favorite player now to retire. Unless you Case Savoy, you know what I mean? Case Savoy got. We all know how K get down when it come to his fandom. Case Savoy got 19 favorite players. 19. He got 25 favorite teams. That way, when his team doing bad, he goes, "That wasn't my team anyway. That's my team over here." But then when his team start doing good, I never said that. What are you talking about? That's my team right here. KMS around here had a whole league being his favorite. Yeah, man. D-Man said, D-Man said, I just keep hearing Luca. That's yeah, man. Salute to you, T. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. But yeah, man. I know Casey Boy around there somewhere, man. I know he done heard that. He gonna put he gonna be in the chat in a minute, cussing me out. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see that Devin man in the chat. All caps. I know he coming from somewhere, man. He probably over there on his other fan channel, giving his fandom up to somebody, and then he gonna switch over to my that's my favorite fighter. No, that's not my favorite fighter. Casey Boy, yeah, me die laughing, man. That's the only person I only person I know. They got a jersey or a hat made with every single team on it. Someone, this is my team right here. You see, I got him on my hat. Jay Gibson said, "Yeah, Giannis is gonna be, yeah, man, yeah, D man, yeah, K like 20 NBA teams and 20 NFL. I'm telling you, bro. K, man, K's a boy. I can't even take K seriously. He be throwing, that's my team. Man. I've been with them since they had brown bags on their head. Like, if you been with them that long, man, why you can't trade it in now? What you gonna trade it in for? I don't get it. They was at their lowest point, and now all of a sudden you want to like a different team. Hey, my man don't even bandwagon. That boy be on the G wagon. He go from every place, man. Jay Giddens said Giannis. Yep. He said, Son of God said, what's your surprise team in the West and in the East? Man, my surprise team right now, and I'll be dead honest with you, that is absolutely surprising me that I did not expect is the Sacramento Kings, bro. I said it at the beginning of the season. I was like, with the trade they made and how things are, I was like, they could make some noise, and I think they're gonna be one of the sleeper teams as far as like being able to put a scare in some teams. And man, are they doing it? Look at the I let me see, man. Let me see what the Kings are right now, man. So are the Kings are the third seed in the West, 26 wins, 18 losses. The last time the Kings were relevant and you would say that they're a threat or they're decent or any of that was when Peja Stojakovic, Doug Christie, Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, like that was a time period when you were saying that they were relevant. You know what I mean? And that's no slight nor disrespect to them, but let's be honest here. The last time that you found that team relevant or had anything to say with bringing up the Sacramento Kings was then. Otherwise, even when DeMarcus Cousins was there, you didn't really have a true push where people saying that team was a threat. They just had, you know what I'm saying, Boogie Cousins there, and that was the person that everybody, would, you know, use as saying like this, that, and the third about or keeping that team relevant. But it's like now, bro, they got some people on that team that you got to pay some respects to for sure. Absolutely. Sonny Guy said the Pelicans' future looking nice. I absolutely agree with that. My bad, y'all. I kind of hopped on in here a little bit. Um, and brother Sutton T said, yeah, K like whoever hot except if we like him. When our team is hot, he hates like all the teams. Hey, that's a fact, man. That is right. I didn't even think about that, bro. It's like as soon as you say if you say you like his favorite team, they're not that good anyway. I don't like them. This is my team now. Yeah, switch up quick, boy. Um, let's see. D-Man said he hates the Cowboys less when we betting on them. And then he roots for the other team. Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's absolute a fact. But yeah, so that's the team in the West for me that I feel that's a surprise for sure. It's definitely the Kings, man. Absolutely Kings. The Pelicans, I have that expectation of them because they got McCollum, they got Brandon Ingram, they got Valanciunas, they got obviously Zion, they got God, what is his name? Herbert Jones. They got Murphy there. They got a solid nice team. You know what I mean? They got a solid, nice team. The issue is they just got to get healthy, and once they get healthy, bro, it's gonna be some issues. Issues. Team in the East. I can't say the Nets because I called that at the beginning of the season too. I was saying once this team get right, it's gonna be everybody gonna be quiet as a church mouse, and that's what you're seeing that's happening. They started out bad like my Lakers did, and then they went on a winning streak, and they started looking dangerous, and people got quiet. Immediately happened. But as far as my surprise team, man, I want to say the Cavs. Screw it, I'm gonna say the Cavs. The Cavs is my surprise team, bro. Darius Garland, absolute beast as a point guard. We know what you're gonna get out of Donovan Mitchell, Isaiah Mobley, Karis LeVert, Kevin Love, still doing it at an old age. And it's like, man, this team, bro, like they compete. They absolutely compete every single game. And it's like the Cavs haven't been relevant. Obviously, when LeBron left, it was over with, and they went through their lull of being irrelevant. And then they drafted Garland. He showed, you know what I'm saying? They drafted Garland. He showed, you know what I mean? Him and Mobley were showing, hey, we can be a 1-2 punch. Then they got Karis LeVert. I was like, okay. Then you snake Donovan Mitchell. Then it's like, hold on. Then you get Jared Allen. You're just like, hey, hold on, man. Like this is too many pieces. And this is too many pieces to a puzzle. And that puzzle looked kind of finished. And it's like you got to take that team serious. So that's my two surprise teams that I have for me. But that's just me though. Absolutely, that's just me. My brother Sutton T said, "Yeah, K, K and D Free always rooting against the bets." Yeah, that's crazy, man. They do it every time too. Yeah, defense and the fact that they put money on it. K, K don't want us to win because he's not betting them. And K said, "Nah, he can't do it no more, man. He can't do it no more." That's too funny, man. I'm surprised. Hey, I'm surprised. He must be he must not know that I'm live, bro. Because I was like, normally he would have been on here by now. You speak up, Case of Boy, it pop up quick. And he come out of nowhere, slanging them MFers like it's crazy. He'll come out, he come out of left field. He'll come out of left field quick. Could be on Mars saying something about K. You know, all of a sudden a little astronaut gonna pop up out of nowhere. Telling, what'd you say? K. uh, let's see. My brother, son of God, said your coach of the year candidate. Ooh, that's a good question, bro. It's a real good question. I can't have the Celtics coach of the year because that brand of basketball and how they playing was already established from Ime Udoka from last year. So I can't even put them there. I can't put Jack Vaughn there for coach of the year candidate just because he was there. He just finally was able to take the car keys from the person that was about to crash the car. Um, so if we start from scratch for coach of the year candidate, man, man, oh man, that is a good question, bro. I would almost have to go with Mike Brown, which is the Kings head coach. Why? Because they sitting at the third seed when they used to be at the 19th seed, and that don't even exist. And that's not no slight nor disrespect to them. It's just, each conference only got 15, you know what I'm saying, 15 seeds, and they used to sit at the 19. He brought them back to being relevant. He got them playing a brand of basketball that's working. He got them focused, and he coaching him up. He coaching them up. Look at De'Aaron Fox. Look at his turnaround and how he's doing. You know what I mean? Compared to before to now. Obviously, that goes along with the pieces you have around you, but at the same time, that also goes with the coaching of them being able to put a game plan and a scheme together to maximize your ability and what you can bring to the team. And we seeing that firsthand with them. So I gotta get Mike Brown his flowers. I know this is probably, what I mean, he did he did it with LeBron in Cleveland, and then he went to being a part of the staff, if I'm not mistaken, like Miami or the Lakers, and then he went to the staff, no, the Warriors. He was the interim coach there for a bit, and then now, boom, he's with the Kings, and you know what I mean, they're in the third seed in the West. So right now, temporarily, coach of the year candidate, I probably have to give it to him. At least for the halfway point, because obviously there's two halves of the season. Got a lot of basketball left, so I don't want to make a premature kind of pick on that because we've seen it. Teams can start off hot and go on the losing streak bad, and I mean losing streak is in like losing 10 in a row and stuff like that. Because I mean everybody remember the Utah Jazz started out hot. They looked real. This team was a threat. They was beating everybody. They was on a hot streak, and then all of a sudden they started dropping games. They went on a losing streak, and then now, you know what I'm saying, they went from being in the top three to being in the AC right now. So it's like a lot of that comes with it, man. So it's fun to think of it. I didn't even think about that yet, but that was, right on the fly my train of thought with it. Brother said, yeah, demon soon when he hit, they're gonna be sick. Candy Free was on my show hating because you make lost and game. Oh man, yeah, hey, that's, hey, I can't. I had to watch the highlights of seeing Eubanks getting slept like that. Now you can't go out there talking like that and then you go out, you know what I'm saying? You get slept. That's a bad look. That's a bad look for sure. Um, let's see. You said Jay Gibson said G5 called it. Hey, I'm not surprised. Not surprised by that at all. He was shaky at the weigh-in. Yeah, that's not good, man. Son of God said, "What's your thought on Shannon Sharp argument with the Memphis Grizzlies? And is anybody wrong? Usually the fans get kicked out. Why is this different?" I cooked on that on a different live. My thoughts on it is that it was just a heat of the moment. You got to remember, Shannon Sharp is a Hall of Famer, three-time, you know what I'm saying, Super Bowl champion, still extremely in shape at his age, bro, and he's raised in the South. I mean, he a man first, so it's like he not gonna sit there and allow some type of disrespect because he still got that competitive nature boiling too. Right now, we see that competitive nature. He put it in the form of debating, you know what I'm saying, Skip Bayless, old, you know what I'm saying, Tales from the Crypt looking. I ain't gonna get on him, but he put it in the form of debating him. You know what I mean? So he's still competitive because once you're competitive, that competitive nature does not die, bro. So you see him in that situation of that. And so when he was having that little spat with Dillian Brooks, you know what I mean? Like Brooks ain't really got the cachet to kind of be saying them. At the same time, he a man at the end of the day too. So you know what I mean. So he got the right to say what he gonna say. And so they kind of had a little, you know what I'm saying, a little back and forth and whatnot. And Steven Adams, who's soft as a cookie, was just trying to de-escalate the situation to tell him you can't talk to my teammate like that, blah blah blah. And you know Shannon was off that hen and that yak. So you know Shannon popped off at him too. And then you know what I'm saying, Ja Pops and Shannon is cool, man. They cool. So it was just one situation where Ja Pops was just trying to come over and de-escalate and just actually talk to him. He you can read his lips what he was saying. So it was like it's just one of those situations, bro. And it didn't lead to something being thrown or fist. So it was just some talking. You know what I mean? So like it was talking that didn't involve like it where fans have said something to players, you know what I'm saying, calling them the N word or some other crazy stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hold on, you crossed the line in that kind of aspect. That was just more in the heat of the moment kind of thing. And it's rare for them to kick out any kind of, you know what I'm saying, notable big name like that. And obviously he at, you know what I'm saying, at the crypto center with what he's saying. Yeah. All right. He's still at the crypto center and they they're not gonna kick him out. Bron got pulled. They know that's LeBron's guy on top of that, bro. They're not gonna kick him out. They're not gonna kick him out. So that's why he didn't get kicked out for that particular situation. If that was somebody else, definitely got kicked out. Anybody wrong for it? Um, I mean, not wrong, but at the same time, like bro, it's in the heat of the moment with two competitors. That's why it happened like that. That's why it happened like that. Like I said, when you got ex-professional athlete that played at the level and stature that Shannon did, bro, like you gonna get that competitive nature from one side, and Dillian Brooks, who's in the heat of the moment in a game right now, with his adrenaline pumping and things like that, you gonna get that type of response. So it's like that whole situation was just what it was for me. It's over and done with, and I don't really look at it anything bigger than what it was. Just a heat in the moment, competitive nature, exchange of words, and that was it. But Shannon, a big dude, man. You bench pressing 500 something, you know, 500 something pounds and stuff like that. That's a big dude. If he really wanted to get to him, he would have easily, you know what I'm saying, stiff armed and tossed some people to the side if he really wanted to get to him like that. Shannon, it was just one of those kind of talking things. Like I said, man, Shannon was going off that yak and off that hen. he, he was feeling himself having a good time, man. He was having a good time. Brother Santi said, I'm calling him and K the two stooges from now. Larry and Larry, y'all wildin', man. Shannon looked strong as hell, bro. I knew like he was about to break through. Hey, I'm telling you, son of God, if he wanted to, he could have, man. With the football skills he got, bro, that don't leave. Shannon was one of the best tight ends of all time, man. If he really wanted to get to him bad or do something to him, he could have. He could have. I mean, he'd have paid for it, but he could have. Cause that whole Memphis team would have jumped him. They ain't gonna let him come over there and steal on Brooks and or be stomping Brooks out and gonna get away with it. Nah, you gonna have players on that team. They gonna get on him. Brother Demon said I would say Larry and Curly, but neither one of them got hair. Dang. Yo, yo, wow, man. I'm calling them Larry and Curly. Yo, wow, man. Yeah. So the guy, that's that yakking here. My bad, y'all. My sister came knocked at the door, and I was sitting up here. I'm catching back up to it, man. And then, but Jay Gibson said Shannon used to bench press the Dodge Neons in high school. And you know, back in high school, he was old enough. They had the metal cars, bro. He wasn't out there lifting them plastic cars like they had. He was out there lifting the metal joints. So that's how you know he's strong. That's why his head, his damn neck got a six pack, bro. I'm telling you, like ain't no way, man. That boy head strong. That boy got a head like the Juggernaut. He coming through. He running through some stuff. That man. I'm gonna leave Shannon alone, man. He gonna pull up on my live to him. What you say? I'm like, hold on, old head. Nah, I don't know what you thought this was, but you trying to bring muscles to a bullet fight. You got time for that? 'Cause you grab me, I'm gonna have to start breaking limbs. I don't want to do none of that. But yeah, that kid. But Shannon, cool man. He like my brother Sutton T said, Shannon found his way back home once that whole situation happened with with Skip. Shannon found his way back home, bro. When Skip said what he said on that tweet and then said what he said in Shannon's face, Shannon said, "All right, let's do the show, man. Stop talking to me. Do the show. Stop talking to me. Do the show." Man, my man's was he was hot. He was hot. He was absolutely hot, man. That was too funny, man. He was absolutely that was one of the funniest things I had seen in a while. He stop talking to me. Let's do the show. Stop talking to me. Every time I go to do my little soliloquy, you interrupt me. He says, just stop talking to me. Let's just do the show. All right, look at Shannon. Okay, Shannon was on his he was on his stuff that day. He wasn't having no part of what Skip was on. That man that tickled me, man. I was laughing way too hard about that. So Shannon decided that he done snapped. That was the breaking point for him. He wanted no more what he was talking about. But yeah, my people, man, I've been on here long enough. I done held up y'all time. I'm gonna get out the way. I know I got all kinds of TWT fam that's probably live, about to go live. So I'm gonna go support some of them. Um, about to get my butt uh get ready to pack up and go to this airport, head back home, see the family, see my kiddos, see the wifey. And then one thing I'm not looking forward to seeing is that damn snow in Minnesota. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming through, man. It's been fun. I'm gonna try and do more lives and get on here and cook some more, kick it with the peoples, bring some different topics, different point of views on things, man. And again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all stopping through, supporting your boy, rocking out with me, man. And we gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna keep grinding, we're gonna keep being consistent, we're gonna get this content out, and y'all gonna see some more A1, and we're gonna get that voice out there. And yes, I'm still alive. I know y'all be seeing a live stream, a live stream going for 4 or 5 days. You don't have to hit up Sutton T to my hey A1 A1 alive, A1 all right. He been alive for like 5 6 days straight, man. And he ain't said a word. He all right? Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm chasing down these watch time hours as best as I can, but I also want to make sure that I'm also, you know what I mean, putting out my content and giving y'all updates and keeping y'all up to speed on things. And then also obviously at the same time being able to converse and link with my peoples. We see each other in the chats and things of that nature. But then again, it's different when you actually able to get on a cook session and interact with your chat. So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. And I'll catch you on the next one, man. Y'all be easy out there and stay safe.